Morning, it's another Friday night. If I'm a problem, and your man's never do no wrong. If I'm so awful, then why'd you stick around this long? Why you keep on pulling it on? Shit, you hate the way you look at me. You always see yourself.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. It's 6:33. I'm sorry. I'm 3 minutes late. I hate being late, but it's all good. Anyway, with that being said, it is June 23rd. Hopefully everyone had a good weekend. I know a lot of people were glued to the TVs. They were glued to the news. Um, and here we are. World's a little bit different, but the sun does come up. And as long as you can take a breath, it's all good. Bottom line is I'm not going to get into politics, but I think what went on Saturday night had to happen, and those are my views. And if you don't like it, it is what it is. I don't think Iran should have a nuclear weapon. It's not good for the world, and now they might not have one anymore. So I know I got hit up by a lot of different people. What's going to happen with the market? We're going to implode. Is it World War X? And I was like, why don't we just wait till Monday morning and see what happens? I know the futures are down about 28 handles last night. Now they're up 8. And, we'll see how this week plays out. Last week, things got a little faulty. Last week, some things started to bend. I don't have a whole lot of risk on. I have a few things moving still. You guys know when I talk about the 8-day, the 21-day, about momentum, about complexion, about composure, I talk about when the S&P or the SPYs get below the 8-day-ish, you got to just reduce some risk. That means a lot of things aren't working. There's not a lot of power. There are some things that you could do, but it's, there's some, it could be a little wishy-washy. So the bottom line is you look here at the chart of the SPYs and kind of rolling down a little bit. 603.50 turned into resistance, which was below the prior resistance from earlier in the year. Played with the 8-day, lost it, and tested the 21-day for the first time. The SPYs have not been below the 8 and 21-day, pretty much since April 24th. Remember that gap up right here on April 23rd? Well, it's been above there, since. So the question is, do we hold it and start to go sideways, or are we going to be into a little bit more of a corrective phase? We'll see. Got a lot of things out there besides what's going on between the U.S., Israel, and Iran. We have this whole tariff deadline that's going to be happening. You still have elevated PEs. We have an earnings season coming up. We have the big fat beautiful bill, or whatever you want to call it. Still have a bit of a spending problem in the U.S. But as of right now, everyone was hyper focused on what was going on in Iran, and I have a feeling everyone's going to be worried about what's going to go on with the Strait of, I think, Hormuz. I want to say it the right way, and oil as of right now. At 6:35, you have the SPYs up 80 cents, and you have the USO up a little bit also. It was just flat, but it's not like up 7% or being a huge whatever headwind. So anyway, will the SPYs reclaim 596.76 and kind of repair itself real fast, or will the early morning strength be sold? SPYs were as high as 596.41, so they've already pulled in a bunch as USO got a little stronger there. What's gold doing? Gold's up a little. So, you have a little mix of everything going on right now. Okay, we have everyone starting to wake up and say good morning. We'll get to that in a second. AMD was upgraded, so was Dash. That's cool. I do have some Dash on. I've been talking to you guys about Dash literally since August 8th last year. And it's been a focus. It's been a buy on the dip. It's been really good. So hopefully, you have some. It's one of my few positions that I actually do have on, and it's nice. We'll get to that in a second. Let's go through the sectors one more time. The Qs, pretty big wide range bar for the Qs. Not the end of the world. The Qs didn't even get to the 21 days, so tech is stronger than the SPYs. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here this morning. I would say right here is resistance, halfway into this candle. So we'll see, does the 8-day now turn into resistance? What's the low here? The low is 524.89, and then here's 522. Does this go sideways? This could turn into a cup and handle pattern, which would be awesome. That would, but again, we a lot of time between, now and then. So, some people like Red Dog, are you finally going to really get very active in Tesla today? I don't know. Tesla looks pretty good. If you look at the chart, um, you had a really nice pattern here. I remember we made a lot of money when this thing took out 290, went all the way to 367, and then kind of broke the 8-day here. It's been going sideways. You did have the robo taxi event that was deemed successful, so we do kind of have a catalyst. If you look at Tesla right now, Tesla is it's up 3 only. It was up 5. Um, I have actually some options on. I took some options just in case. It really went well, and they wanted to run Tesla. They haven't done that in a while. I will watch it. It's smack in the middle. It's very tight. Lately, when Tesla is good, it's great. When it's bad, it's horrible. It's been a little bit of a counter trend trade. When it looked like it was going to break down here, it went up. When it looked like it was going to go, it came in. So we'll see what happens here today. So I will focus on a little bit more, but I'm going to really need to see a lot of volume and see that it could actually, hold up and give me a reason to buy something that's up. Lately, you can't buy anything high to go higher, except for SRCL, or CRCL, which a lot of you guys crushed, and I'm happy for you. Hopefully, you did it because this followed every momentum rule in the book. And if you played it, you made really good money. I know I was here with you guys. I think it was last Thursday when I was like, you guys could be long versus 143 if it takes out 165. It's a good trade here, and went to 248. Holy cow! What a nice move. And it's even up this morning. Would I be buying this now? No, sorry, you missed it. Setup already happened. I don't even know if you could short it. Some guys like Red Dog, I'm going to short it. If you want to short it, that's cool. You could short it. But it really was a beautiful long setup there. Coin also. Coin was huge. Coin was really, really tight. You had a big gap up that never got filled. So some guys were just long versus 231. This is a 231. Did it break below 231 here? No. I actually gave you like a double bottom. Then right here, it got really tight and boom. So even though the SPYs rolled down a little bit, the Qs rolled down a little bit, there were still things to do if you look for setups. Our job is to look for and find setups. So there were many who made a lot of money there. Where does ASTS go from here? I'll tell you, that's another thing that we've been on. Sometimes if you find a really good stock, it takes time and it could wear you out. Hopefully ASTS did not wear you out. I just sold ASTS on Friday. Why did I sell it? Because look how extended it is from the 8-day. Look at this tremendous move where you could have been a buyer through 25.50, through 29.09, through 35. And then it even took out the range. Gave you a trade through 39, went to 42, pulled back, and now 48.94. I'd love to see a pullback into this area. I will definitely be buying it again. I don't think this is over. But again, this is a good lesson here. Remember how long people like, this is going on the Red Dog, this is going on the do not touch list. You know what the do not touch list is? It means you tried a stock so many times and it wasn't ready. Well, finally, a nice move to 48.94. Hopefully you caught it. Maybe we get a move down towards 43 to start nibbling. That would work well. What's it doing right now? ASTS is down $1.18. 43-ish I start buying. So hopefully you did really well with it. I was all over that thing. And so is the guys on the stocks. What's it called? On Mondays I do stocks on X or something, whatever that's called, which is pretty cool. So at 3 o'clock I do a spaces. A spaces with a lot of guys that are really good, and they love this ASTS also. But anyway, for now, we'll see if we can get a move down towards 43 to buy. If we do, that'd be great. I'd be buying it also. But this was, you had to be ready. I know I tried it here too. It just wasn't ready. So this time it was ready. So just because the stock's not ready when you're ready for it doesn't mean it's not going to work. So right now it's 6:42. Let me say hello to some of my dogs around the world. Here we go. You could see if you are on YouTube or you are on Twitter, you could say good morning. You could say hello. That's where I'm getting all my dogs saying what's up. It's always on here saying good morning. Carlos Vidal is saying Dell. Yeah, Dell actually worked out well. It was better than, I'll tell you, it was better than NVIDIA. DT44 is asking, where does ASTS go from here? Catalyst plan starting July. All right, well, let's see if we can get a little bit of a pullback. LMND, HIMS, Zeta, ASTS, RKLB are my 5 stocks today. All right, Kenny, let me see. So Kenny Rosenberg says these are his 5 stocks. ASTS, okay, I think you got to wait and buy a pullback. RKLB, a lot of people were talking to me about RKLB. Let's see, I obviously haven't looked at this in a little while. This is up here the last time I was playing that. Yeah, it looks pretty good. You have a nice little sideways channel. It's right back towards highs. This also had a big move back in the day, which it's been consolidating. Yeah, it's this is definitely a stronger name, and I would definitely say, hey, put it on the radar. Someone asked me, am I buying oil? I haven't played oil in so long, so I doubt that I'm buying it today. It's a USO. Came right back to the top end of the range here. Yeah, I guess that the market wouldn't be happy if USO breaks above this spot. I guess last time we looked at oil was right here, so this is a big resistance area. If they do close down the straight, you might get a little bit of a bigger push, in oil. So I get it. That's the USO. Someone asked me to look at Oxy again. This was the name that Buffett's been buying, and been wrong for a long time. Yes, Buffett sometimes takes a long time to accumulate his position. I think it's kind of interesting. You have this downtrend line. It's been it's been what's it called, in control for a while. It's getting tight here. Yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. Maybe Oxy's finally ready. You could probably buy options on it if you think it's going to take out the 200-day and take out this area. I would say definitely worth a look. I played it a bunch of times throughout the course of this downtrend and hasn't been so great, but maybe it gets above that. So I'll take a closer look there. Is Ethereum an opportunity? I don't know. I feel like Bitcoin just broke the 8-day, so you have to be. Not the 8-day. I'm sorry. Bitcoin broke the 8-day, the 21-day, and the 50-day, and was a lot lower this weekend. I played Ethereum like 2 weeks ago for catch up, and it worked out really well. And then I got caught on the last little part of it. So this weekend, you did get a little bit of a shake and bake in Bitcoin. Bitcoin likes to do that, likes to stop everybody out and then be better. So I guess you'll see, if you play it, not with the ETFs, but Bitcoin itself, maybe you had some limit orders in over the weekend and got filled. It went to the 100-day. Some people does this mean the market's going down? Because sometimes Bitcoin is a leading indicator for risk assets, and sometimes it's just an asset that that for geopolitical reasons or whatever. But anyway, this from 112 down to where it went over the weekend, 98.2. Long term, I still say you could buy Bitcoin monthly, just like gold, just like the S&P, and put it away. That's a good way to make money in Bitcoin. Or you have to play when there's momentum. Remember when we were buying it through 89,000? That was awesome. When as high as 112. I think maybe this is a good spot to buy a little bit, but it has to rebuild to get ready to go again. Oh, and lastly, somebody asked me about NBIS. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I do have some options on here. I do have a little bit of stock on here. I would think that if the market's going to hold in here, this name looks pretty good. It's just got to continue to hold up here and go. Dash, by the way, is my biggest winner this morning. I've been buying dips, in Dash pretty much and all over this since right here. Remember the corrective phase last August with the Japan and the yen and this and that? Well, look at the size of that candle. That woke this up, and I really started getting to know it better here. Lo and behold, PS, it did hit 23.88, pulled in a little bit on Friday, and now it's looking like it's above that. I will trim and trail, and hopefully you have some. I showed you guys the weekly chart of Dash so many different times, and look at the size of this cup and handle pattern. It's one of the few companies that actually was able to come public in 2021, and I don't even know how many times I'm like, Dash is building a big time cup and handle pattern. It seems at least 225 to 257 later this year, which was in here. And hey, guess what? Want to see what Dash is this morning? Up 6. Boom. Anyway, with that being said, lots of things to do. I appreciate you. This is the 6:30 club where I give you guys 20 minutes of thoughts, some setups, some, the keys to the day and the week. If you want to spend time with the alpha team or get involved with T3 and be with 500 traders that, pretty much trade for a living that help each other from around the world, well, you should test out the alpha team versus just tuning in at 6:30. But with that being said, you get to do what you want to do. You make your decisions. But if you want to make changes, guess what you have to do? Make changes. And if you didn't have a great first half of 2025, you have about a week or two left. You better make some changes because third quarter is coming up fast and life is passing you by, my dogs. So if you want to make changes, what do you got to do? You got to make some changes and take some accountability. I'll see you guys later.